host, Mac, and Christy is still on leave, but we love her dearly. That means I get another week with Nacho Witness, the man behind the curtain, and maybe under my desk. Maybe there's a curtain under my desk. You don't know. For another week. So welcome to Hell again. Oh, why do I hear Nacho in the background? I heard disdain. Okay. It was just a whoops. Everyone is fine. Everything else is a whoops. We can have whoopses here. So the shit going on this week. Main thing I wanted to talk about tonight was the same thing I always fucking talk about: how the Republicans fucking suck and they're evil and awful, but the Democrats are feckless. And I wish they were better. We all wish that they were better. But I mean, they are better in comparison to the Republicans here in the U.S. But that's such a low bar. That's like the bars. It's on the ground, but under the ground, but like you can still see like the top of it. And the Democrats got over that. Except this week, it's like it's pretty even. So if you guys didn't already know, there was like a 40-some day shutdown of the U.S. government where everyone lost their SNAP benefits, and they didn't have to. That's not always how shutdowns work. But because Trump's in office and he's a king this time, Trump 2.0, everyone lost their fucking SNAP benefits. And for those of you who don't know what that means, that's basically like all the food assistance that hungry people in this godforsaken country get. And it's a really efficient food program at that. I think it's like for every meal that like you can locally get to people without like the infrastructure of SNAP puts out 9 meals, like 9 times as efficient. If I remember right, I didn't look this up before the show. I'm just going off of memory. That all said, I've been doing a food drive at my local business and trying to get that out where it needs to go. We've collected a little bit. We collect a tote of food, which is very nice. It's heartfelt, but it's not enough. That's the thing. It's just not enough. I'm also starting a hat, glove, and coat drive. Again, where I'm at. So, I mean, if anyone's nearby, I know we have a couple people actually who watch the show, who are kind of nearby. So if you guys know how to get a hold of me, and you do, please do so. Get me your old clothes or your hats, scarves, gloves, coats, old coats. Give me, like, we all have an old winter coat laying around that we ain't going to use ever again. Especially if you have kids, right? And kids need coats too. Like that. So yeah, if you have anything extra like that, get a hold of me. We'll get together. I'm partnering with the American Humanist Association up in Toledo, Ohio, because I work near there. So whatever I receive as far as the clothing and the winter wear goes, I'm going to get it to them to then take it where it needs to go. I think it's a Seagate something up in Toledo. And they distribute all over Northwest Ohio. Why am I telling you all this? To pat myself on the back? No, to inspire you, please, to do something similar. If you have a small business yourself, or if you have a friend or a family member who has a small business somewhere that's established in your local area, maybe encourage them to help with the local food pantry. It's really easy, at least where I am. You just contact whoever takes your, like, you contact your local food pantry, be like, hey, can I put up a tote or some kind of box in my establishment or my friend or my family's establishment and collect some food and just like put a sign out, and you can do that, and then you just go and drop it off. There, boom, you're helping. That's a really great way to help if you don't have a lot of time to help. If you don't have time to go to the food pantry to be more hands-on, if you don't have time to go to a soup kitchen, then this is a great way to like donate to it, right? Organize for it. And it's not hard. Just post it on Facebook, put a sign out, tell people when you're collecting, just the times that you're around. Anything can help. And it might sound kind of silly that I'm saying this now that the government shutdown is over, but stay humanist, because we aren't done yet. The SNAP benefits aren't going back into a place where people can get them. Those SNAP benefits aren't going right back to people's pockets immediately. We just had the government shutdown. Like, this could take a little while. Those benefits, excuse me, those benefits, when they hit people's wallets, we'll say, people still have to go shopping. There might be a little bit of a shortage because of all the shit that's gone down with airports and shipping and everyone now needing to shop at once to get caught back up. And they're not going to be caught back up because the SNAP benefits were already not enough for people who are in the working poor class. So we still need to support our local food pantries regardless. So please check your pantries. Don't give them expired food. I know it's kind of tempting because you're like, oh, this has been in here for 2 or 3 years, but they won't use it. They'll just throw it away. So unless you want to chance it, don't give it to someone else to chance. They'll most likely just throw it away. Or if they miss it, your local food pantry could be held liable for not like safe food practices. So make sure that you're checking the dates on the things that you are trying to get rid of, and don't eat that food yourself. Excuse me. Okay, so that's that. That's how you can help with the SNAP portion of this. So the Democrats caved the other day, ending the shutdown when they had all of the leverage from just winning the special elections, and from having all of the leverage, having the Republican Party pretty thoroughly being blamed for the government shutdown and people starving, because most people got the message that Trump was saying, we're not going to give people the money. We don't have the funds. Oh, we have the funds. We don't want to give them funds. Oh, hold on. We'll give them half of the funding for SNAP. And then, oops, never mind. We're going back to none of the funding for SNAP. No matter what the courts had said, because the courts had said you can't hold that money. But he's Donald Trump. Donald fucking Trump. Donald fucking the Trump. The king? The fucking Trump. Nah. We'll play with that later. There's a king and fuck joke in there. So Chuck Schumer, the majority leader in the Senate, who's a fuck, by the way, in case you didn't know, has lost his non-existent edge. And he said, I am voting against opening up the government right now. But I'm also going to work on the back end with 8 other Democrats, which is the exact number that they need with the Republican votes to allow these fall guys who are going to retire next year or who aren't running again for re-election for the Senate, and get them to open up the government. Because rumor has it that the air traffic controllers and the airports want the government back open because the airports are losing a lot of money, and they can't function as is, which is bad for our infrastructure, but also bad because it's a private industry. So fuck people and their SNAP benefits. and also their healthcare. Let's get this show back on the road. So we're thinking we're getting word now that Chuck Schumer may have gotten some calls that the airport need to be opened back up and fully funded and run. This is a major problem. If you guys don't understand why, the reason we wanted the Democrats to hold out is because the Republicans were feeling the heat. They were thinking of nuking the filibuster, which sounds bad because Republicans could basically do anything that they want then, but they're already so unpopular. They're shooting themselves in the foot over and over again. And if they did nuke the filibuster, that means when the Democrats inevitably take back over at some point in time, if the special elections have taught us anything, then the Republicans are fucked in the future. Fucked real hard in a way that they don't like. And that's good long-term for us. Also, we could not take a deal. We could not have taken a deal until we get the Obamacare subsidies in the bill to open up the government again, because those Obamacare subsidies from the government to the health insurance agencies is what keeps the prices down, because it's a fucking shit program, right? Remember, Obamacare isn't any kind of socialist healthcare plan. It's the Republican healthcare plan, where it forces everyone to have health insurance or pay a tax fine at the end of the year, a penalty. And the government helps fund through subsidies the insurance companies to keep costs down. So the consumer is paying the insurance companies weekly, and the government is paying the private health insurers as well. And also, that's how hospitals get paid. And the health insurance companies are the rapacious for-profit mafia in the middleman. So it's great. It's fun. We needed those subsidies because it's the best of this shitty system that we have, because we don't have single payer healthcare right now. And we're not going to get it through a Trump administration. Like, no fucking way. Smitty's down below. I'm yawning. Imagine like Obama, or imagine liking Obama when his crowning achievement is crapping out Romney care. Yeah. It is just Romney care. But yeah, fun stuff. So Schumer helps pull the strings in the background. One of the Democratic senators who caved did mention on air during an interview that they were in contact with Democratic leadership the entire time. And Chuck Schumer tried to act like he didn't know what was happening, or like he couldn't stop it. But we know better, because Chuck Schumer's a cuck. Cuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer. We're in a bad place right now, guys. We're in a real bad place. We won these special elections, as in Zoran Mandami won. He's a leftist. We had a bunch. Like, if there was a Democratic nominee and a more lefty Democratic nominee, the left took it swimmingly almost every single time this time around. Counties in Georgia lost. Republican seats. That's unheard of. There were 50-point swings in some districts towards the Democrats in Republican areas, and places where like Donald Trump won by 47 points last time around. All of that energy that we just had a week ago was really helping the Democratic base. And then Schumer takes a shotgun and sticks it on his foot, and then pulls a Dick Cheney and points it at someone else and fires at their foot. What a fucking asshole to cave when we're in a dead ass fucking sprint and then literally shoot us in the foot. That cut off some of our energy because now we have to focus on fucking Chuck Schumer, getting him the fuck out of our way. Ro Khanna and a handful of other Democrats in Congress, none in the Senate so far, third way, have all said Chuck Schumer needs to step down. He's not right for this moment. He has no fucking fight in him. This was a disgrace. Why would you put us through all this fucking pain? I know you voted against this bill, but you helped organize the government shutdown to end without a fucking deal, without making sure people's health insurance premiums weren't going to skyrocket, double, triple, or quadruple the times. The Democrats are so fucking feckless, even when they're winning, right? You're like, you punch your opponent in the face, you take off your glove, you strike them just underneath the collarbone and make their arm drop. You do it on the other side, and then you're like, you know what? I don't want to fight today. Will you headbutt me until I hit the ground? Like there's no fucking fight. It's just so fucking annoying. It's so fucking annoying that it makes me forget what I'm about to say because I'm just so mad. This is why we're in a bad place. Because the Democrats caved when they didn't have to. All that energy that the electorate had for this moment. I'm not saying it was snuffed out. But we just betrayed how many people? I say we. I'm no Democrat. And this is why I say that. They just betrayed their Democratic base. They're like, look, we are here to cave to the Republicans. We're just MAGA light, right? There's some of us who are more lefty, who are more progressive, who are really fighty, but they just cause drama. They don't know how to play politics. While I'm here, not fucking playing politics. I'm just trying to play nice and make my donors happy. We don't want that anymore. I am part of the Democratic base. Because it's nearly a dichotomy over here. It shouldn't be that way. I want to be better than the Democrats. But I'm part of that base. I am one of those who would caucus with the Democrats because you can't with the Republicans. The Republican healthcare plan, if you remember, is to don't get sick or die quickly. We just took all of that fucking fire and just like patted it down a little bit with a big fucking fan. I just don't understand why they're so dumb. I get why they're corrupt. I get that the money is corrupting. I get that they feel like they have to listen to certain donors. But why can't you do the math of how many people you're going to piss off by your stupid fucking decisions? Stupid fucking corporate Democrats. Get it through your stupid fucking heads. You have to start listening to your base. Talking about the healthcare during this shutdown was the right thing to do. It stuck with so many people, and that's why they fought with you. Talking about ICE is what they should have focused on more, because almost everyone sees it on their fucking timelines. What ICE is doing to U.S. citizens and immigrants who are here legally, just committing crimes with masks on. Some people in ICE, I guess I've transferred over to the ICE portion, ICE updates. There's been enough occasions now where people have dressed up like ICE, arrested people, sexually harassed people, and disappeared them. Just kidnapped people. And they're not ICE. There's been so many of those instances recently that the FBI have now put out a notice to local police departments and sheriff's offices. The Democrats should be screaming about that, and how that ICE is one of the only federal agency that was still getting paid during the shutdown. That messaging would fucking hit. Just play it on repeat. Play like the Republicans, right? The Republicans hear a question and they hear a problem. And they're like, cool, I forget what the question is, but the issue is trans people and blacks and and Muslims, right? Oh, and homeless people. They're the fucking problem, and they should probably go all off themselves. If you're on Fox News and you're a host, you can just say that and not get fucking fired. But they need to be more like the Republicans and be like, oh, well, I forgot the question. But the problem is ICE is a fucking Gestapo. They act like the Nazis, and they all need to be arrested. And if you see them in your neighborhood, ask yourself if you're in a stand your ground state. Like, that's the kind of fucking question they should be pushing now to make those fucking people scared. Because they're already scared enough to wear a fucking mask. It's because they know that when the Democrats get back in power, they're all going to be fucking prosecuted. They are the definition of terrorists. Just terrorizing people's communities. It's insane. I heard that shots were fired at ICE in Chicago. Almost every single person that I saw cover that didn't say it like I did. They said shots were finally fired at ICE. The base of the Democratic Party, and also a lot of Republicans who see that this is disgusting, like we'll say the Liz Cheney Republican branch, they taste blood in the water. If you don't have a cohesive social contract with laws and civil liberties, it fucking breaks down, right? You can go very quickly. Let's talk about that political compass. I'm not sure which way this is going to look for you guys, but we're going to say we'll go with my left. The right. Get the left and the right on the political spectrum. And then you have the anarchy and the authoritarianism on the bottom of the dot. You can go from right-wing authoritarianism straight down to leftist anarchy on the way that the government is run, or any other anarchy. Once you drop down to anarchy, it kind of doesn't matter which way way the rest of the thing is. Once you're at the bottom, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just fucking chaos until someone wins. And no one wants that. Stephen Miller, I would assume, would think something like that's kind of funny until it comes back and bites him in the ass. These people are idiots. These people think they're like criminal masterminds, like fucking Dr. Evil kind of bullshit. But I'm so glad that Donald Trump brought the R word back, because that's what they are. I have to quote Tropic Thunder: "Never go full retard," because you just can't. You can't do that. What about Forrest Gump? He was only half retard. God damn it. All right, Smitty, down below, we have well, yeah, corporate Dems are paid not to fight. Yep, we know that. And it's not incompetence or weakness. It's just corruption. It's not going to happen. If they lose an election, they're still rich from bribes. Then they can move on to do consulting or public speaking job as a golden parachute. Yeah, it's called the revolving door. Democrats have corporate Dems have to be primaried. There's no way around it. They're not going to learn if they learn they were wrong, because winning for the left isn't why they're in politics. I never stopped saying research. I'm pretty iffy on the R word. I feel bad about saying it. So I try not to. I actually, my standard now for the R word is when I'm talking about the Republican Party leadership specifically, or people who are frothing at the mouth defending them. Because I think it is a harsh word. It's a bad word. It's a mean word. But when you're using harsh language, sometimes it's called for, especially against right-wing retards. Don't take the R word seriously from people who say idiot and moron for the very serious. No, I get it. I get it. I just try to watch my P's and Q's, but sometimes I can't help it. All right. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to cover. More stuff on the Epstein files came out today. I guess there's emails connecting Donald Trump to being in the same room as one of like Epstein's victims for hours on end, in Epstein's house. And that man's house was tapped and wired, like video everywhere. So there's most likely video of Donald Trump with women in Epstein's house, and most likely underage girls. So that's a new fun fact that we all kind of probably knew anyways. But there's emails connecting that now. And we all know that Epstein was most likely Mossad, most definitely. So the Israeli government probably has that video, if I had to guess. So that all said, to do the old John Oliver bit from 4 years ago, that's right, we got him. Like, we got him this time. Donnie's not going to wriggle his way out of this one. He's got to step down. He should be impeached. There's no chance in hell that he's gonna take responsibility for that, or even if he does, as if he would step down for power. But he should. Any other U.S. president or political person of any kind of interest would have to be like, I'm sorry, that didn't happen, but I feel so bad. I have to leave now. But this guy is Teflon Don, after all, so that ain't gonna happen. So then he says, least shocking breaking news of all time. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had time to look yet. But I think Bob Latta, my congressman, is going up for re-election next year. And I'm not going to say I'm running for the seat, because I don't think I have time or the resources to do so, or even the know-how. But I would not be against helping anyone in the DSA running against that motherfucker who won't have a town hall and who's in fucking hiding and is in violation of human rights, supporting genocide in Gaza. Who's just a Republican piece of shit now. We could let some illegal immigrants across the border for you. Woohoo. But if anyone wants to get me in touch with anyone running or anyone who needs someone to run in the Toledo area, I'd be willing to do what I can to help, or just run if no one else is. I want that man's job. That would be fantastic. I have some decent political instincts, but I don't know a lot that would go with being a congressman. I'm saying this because it'd still be clearing that bar. Like, just being a decent middle-class American is leagues above fucking Bob Latta and the likes of him. He's a fucking coward, and he doesn't deserve his job. It's worked wonders for us just so far. The base keeps running and running. Yeah. So, all right. I think that's that. It's going to be a fairly short show tonight. Let me look at my notes to Nacha from earlier today. Oh, I'd mentioned the Department of War. I should mention that real quick. There were more boats. I forget if it was like 3 or 5 more fucking ships that the Department of War struck off the coast of Venezuela, saying that they're drug boats filled with fentanyl, and still no fentanyl comes from Venezuela. And also, they're fishing boats again. So that sucks. Also, oh shoot, I forget the places now. I think Sudan, Nigeria, and a few other places across the world. The Department of War is thinking about striking up some wars. We're never going to fucking learn. This is so not America first. It's not anti-war, fucking obviously. And look, Trump can have his fucking seafood dinner parties at Mar-a-Lago, and we can spark up new wars and conflicts around the globe. We have the money and the resources to do all that. But we can't feed 60,000 homeless veterans. We can't spend $60 billion one time to end homelessness in this country. We can't get a donation from a rich motherfucker who will help pay the military to pay for SNAP benefits, while Elon Musk is set to become the world's first trillionaire. But the Department of War, again, can spend a shit ton of money blowing up innocent fishermen, or maybe even guilty fishermen. Just straight up, basically public executions, because they catch them on video and show everyone. While Americans are starving because of a fucking government shutdown. And even after the shutdown and before, because so many Americans are already starving and can't get enough help. Doesn't matter if they have a fucking job or not. There's a whole class of people who are the working poor. And along with the Department of War is ICE, who just terrorizes American citizens and American residents on the fucking regular because they're evil. They pulled out a daycare center teacher, preschool teacher, daycare center lady, the other day. Drug her out in front of the kids. She had her kids there. Other people had their like infants and kids there. Kids go home and start asking their parents, "Am I next?" I watched multiple ICE agents get in the car with kids in them, trying to like pull out parents or drive away with infants still in the car. And people are just screaming at them. Like I said this when Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd, put his knee on his fucking neck. And again, I will hold to this till the day I die. I put my knee on someone's neck with my back knee bent like that. I'm trying to kill you. I'm trying to do it slowly. I just am. Remember, I teach martial arts. I know that with weight distribution. I'll put it down on anyone. And anyone who wants to fight me on it, please come over. We can side by side the video with my knee on your neck. And you tell me how long you like to be held like that. You don't even have to have the other 3 people holding you down. My point is, when you see the police or unknown, unverified federal agents doing that shit, you can't let them. You can't just let them kill your neighbors, as George Floyd was killed. And you can't just let them drive off with your neighbors to black bag them. I'm not saying you need to kill them, but you can't let them get away. They need to feel like you just aren't going to let that happen. Because we can't let that happen. They have to be afraid of us. That's what the whole Second Amendment was about. We need the Black Panthers back in our time, right? We need a scarier version of our peaceful protesters to be like, so the peaceful protesters, like Martin Luther King did back in the day, say, "Hey, do you want Malcolm X over there, or do you want me?" Like, because they look like they want to kill you. I just want free healthcare for everyone. Can't we all just get along, including the migrants? Can't we just get along? We don't need to ruin people's lives to make other people's lives better. That messaging needs to be clear. And I feel like the peaceful protesters are doing a good job of that. But there are still so many people basically just being fucking black-bagged. And it's not okay. And we can't act like it's okay. we can't continue to go on with our days at work pretending it didn't happen. We're not thinking about it. Like it's too much. Everyone has to be on the lookout, and everyone needs to be there for your neighbor. You need to, if you are a white person, especially a straight white person with a lot of privilege in this country, you need to go out of your way to make your Black and brown, gay and trans neighbors feel welcome. Hold the door open for them, even if they're more than 10 steps back. Say good morning to them. Say hello. Smile at them, right? Just let them know that you're a friendly face who is obviously not a racist piece of shit, and that you are their neighbor. The right wing has a Department of War now. We have community. Smitty says down low, I don't think MLK was using Malcolm X for a good cop, bad cop. No, but he did say he understands why Malcolm X does what he does, and that rioting is the language of people unheard, as in ignored. He was explicitly telling people not to engage in violence, period. Yes, he was. He was the Professor X without the X-Men, because he did tell his X-Men to go do stuff. But yeah, he was the one striving for peace. Not a fan of using the term privilege to describe oppressed people because others are more oppressed. I get that, Smitty. That's fine, but I hope you understand what I was saying. Just as we're more privileged than the ones who are not white and poor. Yeah. So all in all, please remember to support your local food pantries and take some pictures. Share them. Let us know. Comment down below. Comment where your local food pantry is down below. Share. Maybe someone will see it and be like, hey, that's mine too. Maybe we can do something together. Maybe you guys can get along. Get some stuff done. We're trying to do it here, and I hope you guys are as well. If nothing else, give your neighbor a smile and keep your eye on the news, and keep your ear out for people in need who just need to vent or need some answers on why shit is happening. If nothing else, we can give them some answers on why things are happening and what can make it better. And what can make it better right now is a good, solid message from the Democratic Party and the progressive wing of that party to show Democratic leadership that we're done with them being moderates. And if they want to lead like moderates, then we will ignore their leadership from now on. The progressive wing has to take over firmly. Chuck Schumer can do whatever the fuck he wants and ruin people's lives. That's fine, but the rest of us are going to tar and feather him, metaphorically, and call for him to resign and tell him to fuck the fuck off. We can make the Democratic Party something that people want to vote for. So the ones who have eyes on them best have your best progressive messaging going on from here on out. Show people what they want. Tell people what they want to hear, and tell them how you're going to give it to them. Not just that you are. How. We are part of the base. We're the problem solvers of the base. and we can solve these problems. All right, everyone. I will plan on being here for you guys next week, but the week after that, I think, is the day before Thanksgiving. So we'll probably do one more show this month, next week. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay humanist, for God's sake.